Hi guys, welcome back to the Social Tune. And originally, I wanted to talk about the worst hit songs of 1996, keeping with the birthday theme and everything, but yeah, 1996 is going to take a while to tackle. It's a profoundly inoffensive year for music. So, to offset that somewhat, we're going to take a look at 2013 instead. Many would call this one of the worst years for music in recent memory, or at least until we got 2016. However, personally, I never really got that hate. Maybe because 2013 was the first year that I started critiquing music on top of just listening to it, but I've always had a certain attachment to the year as a whole. Now, with that said, while I do have a list of hits from 2013 that I absolutely love, there were also some absolutely horrendous ones. And so, those are the ones that we're going to be looking at here today. So let's start things off right with our dishonorable mentions. Well, I'm feeling irritated. I wonder why. I hope that I don't sound like this when I'm 22 because it sounds like a miserable put-on and not remotely magical. So you're feeling 22, eh, Taylor? So you're in crippling debt after coming out of college? Not to mention being stressed out of your mind by being faced with the first traces of real life? Yeah, sounds like a ball. God, even for bro country, this is incredibly meatheaded and profoundly stupid. Seriously, I used to be a fan of this guy. And it's also made supremely uncomfortable by having his ex-wife Miranda Lambert right there in the video. Not to mention this is a country song that contains references to the Dougie, and apart from that, it's incredibly cliched, with lines telling all the girls who pass by to shake their sugar, basically acting like hedonistic pricks. Because that's what country music's all about, right?
Couldn't help myself, so I walked up and said, well, baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
I don't quite hate Florida Georgia Line in the way pretty much every other country music critic does, but even I can tell this is awful. Why is Nelly here? What does he add? And like I said in my Sam Hunt review, that line about this girl making you want to roll your windows down and cruise doesn't make any sense. I mean, is that even a pickup line? And then the song ends with some utterly egregious auto-tune on the outro. Really, is it any wonder this was one of the biggest country hits of the past 10 years?
I need your love.
And while we're at it,
You're giving me such sweet
Calvin Harris has a knack for taking the best vocalists and just utterly wasting them. And while Ellie Goulding is one thing, Florence Welch is another matter entirely. It's practically treason. Seriously, how do you ruin Florence and the Machine? Screw you, Calvin Harris.
And do the Harlem Shake.
You know, looking back at this with 4 years of hindsight, it's almost impressive how terrible it is. Say what you will about What Does the Fox Say, at least it was upbeat and had colorful lyrics. This is basically just one phrase repeated ad nauseum with such an ugly drop that you wouldn't know this was a dance song if it weren't for the meme. Still, my fond school memories keep it off the list, if only barely.
Throw it up, watch it all fall out. Blow it up, that's how we ball out. Throw it up, watch it all fall out.
After listening to Auntie, this is just unbearable to listen to. But after hearing Bitch Better Have My Money, it's slightly more tolerable, so it just misses the list.
I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different.
I'm different, yeah, I'm different.
No, you're really not. Granted, 2 Chainz has become a lot more tolerable these past few years, but back in 2013, he was the fucking worst. His features were terrible, his songs were terrible, and he had about as many bad quotable lines as Lil Wayne. But here, he wants to prove that he's different. So he raps about being rich, having sex, cars, drugs, killing people, and basically every single rap cliche in the book. The only way he's really different is that he's worse at doing that than other rappers. Still, the production is blandly inoffensive, so I can't really get angry at this, unlike...
I woke up in a new Bugatti. I woke up in a new Bugatti. I woke up in a new Bugatti.
The best thing that I can say about this song, where Future is on the hook for some reason, sounding about as good as usual, where every single line is a cliche, including the entirety of Rick Ross's verse, is... well, at least it has energy. Also, Future and Rick Ross features. Why does that sound familiar?
$1,000 pair of shoes, you don't even know.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. But for now, on to the stars of this video.
I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause. Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me.
Have you ever wondered why so many people hate Taylor Swift these days? You know, apart from the terrible new music? Well, the answer is, she's a bit of a sociopath. Please keep in mind, 1989 actually got me to like Taylor Swift, but come on. She's dedicated several of her songs, both good and bad, to her own insecurities. Not to mention an entire track blasting her friend for betraying her. You know what? No. Here's the real question. Why didn't the backlash come way sooner?
Now I'm lying on the cold hard ground. Trouble, trouble, trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble.
Presenting Blank Space, the awful version. Seriously, it's basically the exact same scenario, except it's entirely out of Taylor's control. At least allegedly. And why the hell did she think her music needed more dubstep?
I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now. Blew me to places I've never been. Till you put me down.
It just sounds awful and awkward as hell, especially next to that incredibly fake-sounding guitar melody.
No apologies. He'll never see you cry. Pretends he doesn't know that he's the reason why.
But of course, the worst part of this is easily the songwriting. You knew he was trouble when he walked in, and you did it anyway. That, frankly, just makes you an idiot. And while someone like, say, Foxes on Devil's Side actually manages to admit her own faults in this situation, Taylor Swift can't bring herself to stoop that low. As she desperately tries to cover up everything she may have done wrong, and basically portrays this guy as a cartoon villain.
Trouble, trouble, trouble. And the saddest fear comes creeping in, that you never loved me or her or anyone or anything.
She's clearly begging for sympathy, which she clearly hasn't earned. And if you want more confirmation of that, just watch the music video, because the first half is just melodramatic exposition, which comes across as incredibly pretentious.
I think when it's all over, it just comes back in flashes, you know? It's like a kaleidoscope of memories. How can the devil be pulling you towards someone who looks so much like an angel when he smiles at you? I think that the worst part of it all wasn't losing him. It was losing me.
Beyonce's Lemonade videos, this is not. I know that a lot of people love this song, but I will never understand why. Taylor, what the heck were you thinking?
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me do.
Huh. Now you mention it, I guess she never stopped shifting the blame away from herself.
Trouble, trouble, trouble. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. Trouble, trouble, trouble. I live for the applause, applause. Live for the applause, applause. Live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause.
I'll I'll admit, back in 2013, this was absolutely huge, and I'll admit I enjoyed it a little. But this is also the song that made me take a closer look at pop music in general when I discovered that, upon closer inspection, it was utterly awful.
I wanna scream and shout and let it all out. And scream and shout and let it out. We saying oh, we are, we are, we are.
You are now rocking with Will.i.am and
Britney, bitch.
Why is Britney doing a Lady Gaga impression?
When you hear this in the club, you gotta turn the shit up. You gotta turn the shit up. You gotta turn the shit up.
Oh boy, where to even begin? The incredibly lazy, repetitive beat sampled straight from the Time (dirty bit, the unbelievably cliched and ugly bridges that lead into the chorus and outro, the fact that Britney sounds like an auto-tuned robot, to say nothing of Will.i.am.
Going fast, we ain't going slow. No, no, hey, yo. Hear the beat, now let's hit the flow. Drink it up and then drink some more. Light it up and let's let it blow, blow.
The pitch shifting, the repetition, the chorus that makes me want to scream and shout out in anger. Because really, if you think about it, who walks into a club and starts screaming and shouting? I mean, there are certain songs that I see people screaming and shouting to while in the club, but this one has no presence or weight to it.
When we up in the club, all eyes on us. All eyes on us. All eyes on us.
You see them girls in the club, they looking at us. They looking at us. They looking at us.
Yeah, the entire song is just recycled trash, every single bit of it. If I were the DJ in the club, the last thing I would do would be to turn this shit up.
you are now rocking with Will.i.am and
Britney, bitch.
I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause.
Out of all of the artists on this list, this is the one that hurts me the most. I have gone on record praising this woman on many occasions, and she has made some truly breathtaking songs. But I can also admit that this song is pure shit, and gets overlooked way too often when people are making worst lists for 2013. So let's fix that.
This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire. This girl is on fire.
Remember last year when everyone was bashing Just Like Fire by Pink?
Just like fire, burn it up away. Rock it like the world up for just one day. Watch this madness, colorful charade. No one can be just like me anywhere.
Now, personally, I never hated that song. I didn't like it, but there was far worse music being released in 2016. To me, Girl on Fire is that song's spiritual predecessor, and no, not just because they both have fire in the title. I mean, they both stretch the singers' voices, they're both really about nothing at all, despite their best efforts, and they both have out-of-nowhere rapping.
Took me on the balcony, telling me to jump with her. Yeah, I'm in the ghost, but I ain't doing stunts with her. I ain't trying to be that. Haters wanna see that.
And look, at least Pink sounded confident rapping on Just Like Fire. Nicki has rarely sounded this out of place and lost. I mean, seriously, this is how the music video starts, unedited.
Spirit of Maryland calling me audibly, boiling. She said that she would never leave, continue to torture me.
Now, doesn't that just flow naturally? You think that's bad? Wait till you see how they transition to Alicia Keys' part.
But I got him aggy, cause I win the gold like Gabby.
She's just a girl and she's on fire.
But some of you may be saying, no wait, it is about something. It's about a brave young girl who's taking on the world, to which I would say, is it?
She's living in a world and it's on fire. Filled with catastrophe, but she knows she can fly away.
So both the girl and the world are on fire. I sense mixed metaphors coming our way.
She got both feet on the ground and she's burning it down.
Wait, what? So she's burning down the world? Is this actually a song about an evil anarchist slash arsonist? I mean, seriously, Alicia Keys keeps telling us how amazing this girl is and how she's owning the world, but she never actually tells us any of this girl's accomplishments. We're just supposed to know that she's on fire, which they really hammer home.
Looks like a girl, but she's a flame. So bright she can burn your eyes. Hottest of the hottest girls say, oh, we got our feet on the ground and we're burning it down.
This is clearly trying to be a female empowerment anthem, which is great, but it doesn't actually do anything to earn that. It just uses every single overused fire metaphor in the book and doesn't actually say anything revolutionary. And I think that this line in particular can explain that.
She's living in a world and it's on fire, filled with catastrophe, but she knows she can fly away.
Oh, I see. She knows that she can fly away. She just hasn't yet, for some reason. This actually makes a lot of sense, playing out like a fantasy in this girl's head, giving her the illusion of being a revolutionary, without her ever actually having to take action or do anything. Bullshit! And even if you want to support this or feel inspired by it, guess who comes back out of nowhere?
Burn, baby!
Dear God, if you're here, God, make the fire disappear when they stare, God. And in my backyard, that's a dear God, and that's a horse ranch. And to my core fans, keep repping me, do it to the death of me.
That has nothing to do with anything. But to be honest, are you really surprised? Because this is basically a song that wants to have a deeper meaning but doesn't want to go to the trouble of actually working for it. It's utterly worthless. This girl may be on fire, but this song sure isn't. Next.
She's just a girl, but she's on fire.
I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause.
I've complained a lot about Drake on this channel, but frankly, I think I've earned that considering his torrent of shitty music these past couple of years, and it's hard to really pinpoint where exactly everything started going downhill. But after some serious soul-searching, sweat, and tears, I was finally able to figure it out. And of course, it was the one I guessed from the very beginning. Wonderful, thanks for wasting my fucking time yet again, Drake.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team fucking here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Nigga, started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team here. Nigga, started from the bottom, now we here.
You know, I really shouldn't care about Drake at this point. Putting aside the overexposure, he's clearly not trying anymore, and the song that will forever epitomize that laziness is this one right here.
Started.
The beat here is incredibly lazy, just a repeated pattern that breaks into a bass-swamped drop on the chorus. And somehow, the lyrics are even worse.
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team fucking here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yeah, you started from the bottom and now you're here, clearly out of ideas and just looking to pump out a quick paycheck rather than putting effort into a song like Hold On, We're Going Home. But the really telling line is this one right here.
Just as a reminder to myself, I wear every single chain, even when I'm in the house, cause we started from the bottom, now we here.
How insecure do you have to be to wear a chain when no one's around to see it? Which confirms your first suspicions, that being that this is an insecure, lazy brag track made solely to stroke the artist's own ego. Plus, he doesn't really seem to understand what constitutes the bottom.
My uncle calling me like, where you at? I gave you the keys, so you bring it right back. Living at my mama's house, we'd argue every month, nigga. Working all night, traffic on the way home.
Traffic, borrowing from your uncle, arguing with your mum, the bottom honestly sounds pretty trivial.
Boys tell stories about the man. Say I never struggled, wasn't hungry, yeah, I got it, nigga.
No, again, you said you weren't hungry and didn't struggle. You were living with your mum, and I'm pretty sure the two of you never went hungry, which the internet tends to back up. But even putting aside the teen TV star / privileged neighborhood facts, his own description of the bottom disproves the point he was trying to make.
Story stay the same through the money and the fame. Cause we started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team fucking here.
But despite this song's overall awfulness, I will admit that it really does become white noise very easily. I like to save my real rage for something more awful.
I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause.
You know, I have defended this artist on occasion, but most of the time it's clear that she has no interest in making good music. However, I can at least take solace in the fact that nothing she releases will ever be as bad as the first time she tried to reinvent her music. Because it hurts, even to this day. Oh wow, I didn't know Rihanna had yet another hit in 2013. No, seriously.
You ain't gotta worry, it's an open invitation. I'll be sitting right here, real patient.
Next, I'd like to apologize to Taylor Swift for that dubstep jab earlier, because this is far worse. I mean it. What the fuck is up with this chorus? The awful grating synths, what sounds like bongos, and that one repeated line? She's clearly trying to sound hardcore and sexy, but she somehow ends up sounding half asleep. And if you're so hardcore, why do you have to wait till I'm ready? Are you just gonna read a book, twiddle your thumbs, watch a TV show while you're waiting? And no, I'm sorry, I can't get past that instrumentation. Pure, undiluted ugliness. Oh, and don't forget the repetition and the stuttering to fill up space. This song is on a short list of ones that have got me to punch a wall in rage. That is saying something. Video's kind of cool, but everything else, just no. Let there be light. So over the summer, I went to an event where I helped out as a chaperone. It's a nice retreat and I got to see a few friends, but the experience was slightly marred by one of those good friends playing a certain album on loop. An album that I didn't know existed because I just assumed that everyone had abandoned the artist after his one big hit. But no, apparently he has a bit of a fan base. Why?
Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go.
I hate this song. Passionately. I hope to God that this is one of those one-hit wonders that everyone will just forget, because if I'm still hearing this 30 years from now, I'm going to go insane.
Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go.
So many people say they relate to this. Really? This? You relate to a guy who's clearly trying to get his friend to break up with his girlfriend? Because yeah, this isn't self-reflective in the least. It's entirely directed at a friend of his.
Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. But dreams come slow and they go so fast.
This is a guy telling his buddy to leave his girlfriend because he's bad for her. friendship. And the implication that he's only doing this to hook up with this girl is blatant. But there's being a terrible friend, and then there's being an evil bastard who's inflicting psychological torture on his friend.
You see it when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why everything you touch surely dies.
Seriously, what is wrong with you? Everything you touch surely dies? Your intentions are clear. You don't need to make yourself this easy to hate.
Staring at the ceiling in the dark, same old empty feeling in your heart. Cause love comes slow and it goes so fast.
I've heard many people make the Cat Stevens comparison when talking about this song, and as someone who will genuinely, regularly defend Cat Stevens most of the time, I just find that insulting. Because this guy is so much worse in every way. Oh, and apart from that, he's a pretentious, helium-voiced singer with an acoustic guitar. Joy.
But you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go.
Only at number 5, and I already find myself saying that this song can rot in hell. Although once you see the other picks, it won't really surprise you that this is this low.
Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go.
I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause.
Why, bro country?
All them other boys wanna line you up and take you downtown, but you look like the kind that likes to take it way out where the cornrows grow, roll my boat, floating down the Flint River. Catch us up a little catfish dinner. Gonna sound like a winner when I lay you down and love you right. Yeah, that's my kind of night.
If you want a good reason why Kick the Dust Up was only a runner-up on my worst hit songs of 2015, this is it right here. In all its ugly, badly produced, terribly written awfulness. I don't really know what was going through Luke Bryan's head when he made this, but this is the result, and I barely have the words.
I got that real good, feel good stuff up under the seat of my big black jacked up truck, rolling on 35s, pretty girl by my side.
Okay, I do have a couple of things to say. I could analyze the lyrics that are filled with bro country cliches, where Luke Bryan calls you a girl who looks like she likes it dirty, literally, as in out in the cornfields, where he's going to take you down and love you right, all of which is creepy and questionable. But instead, I want to focus on the instrumentation.
You got that suntan skirt and boots, waiting on you to look my way and scoop. Soak us up a little moonlight, you know I know what you like, yeah. All them other boys wanna line you up and take you downtown.
This is just a disaster on every level. It's barely country, the fake drum beat is placed right at the front of the mix to drown out the rest of the fake instrumentation, which is nothing next to the auto-tune and the unbelievably embarrassing hip-hop and disco influences that don't fit at all.
Might sit down on my dime, run, play, tailgate, put in my country ride, hip-hop mixtape. Little Conway, little T-Pain, might just make it rain.
Wow, he actually tells you that he's listening to a rap and country mixtape, which is on the same level as hashtag rap in terms of selling out. It didn't work when Florida Georgia Line did it, and it works even less here. And while we're commenting on the writing, how about that bridge?
My kinda, your kind is this kind of night. We dance in the dark and your lips land on mine. Oh, gonna get our love on.
Just no. The only factor that redeems this song even a little, as usual, is Luke Bryan himself. As he has a lot of charisma and a good singing voice, but he needs to start firing people soon. Because this was the first nail in what is now a pretty secure coffin.
I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause.
then. Oh no, no, oh no, no, and I'm down with it.
You know, I didn't expect Justin Bieber to make a comeback, but I honestly kind of wanted him to. If only because he actually started becoming better behind the scenes, becoming more interesting, at least musically. Which makes it a real shame that after all that innovation was gone on purpose, the only experience that people will really have of interesting Justin Bieber, aside from Beauty and the Beat, is this.
Bigger, better, stronger, power. I got that power. I got that power. I got that power. Power, power, power.
You ever hear a song that makes you feel physically ill? Well, that's this song for me. I mean it, the second I hear that drop, my rage levels skyrocket.
Power. I got that power. I got that power.
Justin's the best part of this song, but that's mainly because he's not awful, unlike every single other element in this song. From the awkward strings on the outro, to once again the awful beat, exactly the same as Scream and Shout.
They call me Will.i.am, stay so cool, I'm chilly. I done made that melee, on my way to that Bentley.
To Will.i.am with bars that range from laughable
Used to have a piggy bank, but now I got that bigger bank.
to questionable
Yes, y'all. Feeling funky fresh, y'all. Work to be the best, y'all. Work good under pressure, y'all.
to just all of it.
Fire, fire. Whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. So I'ma get stronger.
So people are trying to kill you. Gee, I wonder who. This is just everything I hate about pop music, and exactly the type of track that gives pop rap such a bad name in the mainstream. And funny thing, this is still not the worst song on Will.i.am's hopeless album Willpower. Ah!
I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause.
I struggled between these two songs, debating on which one was worse. Then I remembered this.
Walked in 30,000 in my pocket, had them niggas just like,
Yeah, this topped my list back in 2015 for being arguably one of the worst songs ever created by man. But then, why do I kind of regret not making Marvin Gaye my number one? Because oddly, I do hate this more in retrospect. So for that reason, I put the song I hated most at number 1 and put this at number 2.
It's $1,000 pair of shoes, you don't even know it. It's $1,000 purple lane, you don't even know it.
The cannon.
Just $500,000 car, you don't even know it. I came up from bottom, you don't even know it.
That's back.
Told you we'd discuss another terrible Rick Ross and Future collaboration on this list. Because yeah, absolutely everything about this is awful. The creepy beat.
The cannon.
You don't even know it.
The fact that they take us for idiots over and over again.
My niggas all ride with me, you don't even know it. Got killers with me right now, you don't even know it. This $1 million watch, nigga, you don't even know it.
You just told us, I think we know it. The fucking title?
Nah, it's $1,000 pair of shoes, you don't even know it.
Yes, UOENO apparently stands for You Don't Even Know It. Somehow. And of course, the famous lines about date rape from Rick Ross.
Put Molly all in her champagne, she ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that, she ain't even know it. Got 100 acres I live on, you ain't even know it.
Don't you love how casually he says that like it's an everyday occurrence to him? Just another line in the song alongside the money and drugs.
You ain't even know it.
It's $1,000 pair of shoes, you don't even know it. It's $1,000 pack lane, you don't even know it.
Apart from that, the song is just so limp and lifeless, it actively turns you down. Even Black Hippie's remix could only make this barely passable.
You know, everybody having them babies. It's a beautiful thing, it ain't crazy. If a rapper monogamous, you know what the problem is. Too many bitches got rabies.
When even Kendrick Lamar, J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, and Ab-Soul can't bring life to your beat, you've messed up. So yeah, this song is repulsive. It doesn't even really end, it just kinda stops and fades out in the middle of the track. That's how lazy it is. But by now, you should all know what topped it.
You don't even know it. This $1 million watch, nigga, you don't even know it.
I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause.
I'm on that good cushion alcohol.
Mike Will.
I got some down bitches I can call. What's that? I don't know what I would do without y'all.
You know that this reached number 8, right? I'm almost tired of asking at this point, but I'll ask again. Why?
I'm about to the day I fall.
Yeah, long as my bitches love me. My bitches love me. My bitches love me.
Yeah.
I could give a fuck by no hate as long as my bitches love me. My bitches love me. My bitches love me. Yeah. I could give a fuck by no nigga long as these bitches love me.
Everything about this screams creepy and unsettling. Mike Will made it produce this, and it might just be his worst. Or at the very least, top 5.
I'm about to the day I fall.
Yeah, long as my bitches love me. My bitches love me. My bitches love me.
Yeah.
Drake and Future both handle the chorus, which is just pointless. Why not give Drake a verse at least? Or get rid of Future entirely? But even then, why would you have Drake on the chorus if he's not even singing? Also, I see that Lil Wayne is just as insecure when it comes to haters as Taylor Swift.
Pussy ass nigga stop hating. Real nigga fuck these haters. I could give a fuck by no hate as long as my bitches love me. My bitches love me.
Yeah, really think about that, Mr. Hardcore Rapper, the guy who made I Am Not a Human Being 2. You are on par with this.
And my haters gonna hate, baby. I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. Shake it off, shake it off.
But of course, we need to get to the elephant in the room, the music video.
Good cushion alcohol.
Yeah.
I got some down bitches I can call. What's that? I don't know what I would do without y'all.
Why are there women in cages and trapped in medieval torture devices? Again, top 10 hit. And 1 year before this came out, people were giving shit to Lupe Fiasco for being sexist. Heck, the same year this came out, Robin Thicke got all that flack for making blurred lines, and yet Lil Wayne gets a pass? Seriously? And now for the other, sicker, more misshapen elephant in the room, Lil Wayne's lyrics. Now don't get me wrong, Lil Wayne has a proud tradition of terrible lines, but this is just on a whole other level. And it's really uncomfortable.
Lil' Tone chick got that fire, and these hoes love me like Satan, man.
Do hoes like Satan?
She don't want money, she want the time we could spend.
Yeah, I'm sure that money isn't a factor at all.
And girl, I fuck who I want, and fuck who I don't.
Well, who wouldn't want to spend time with a great guy like that?
She say, I never wanna make you mad, I just wanna make you proud. I say, baby, just make me come, then don't make a sound.
Okay, seriously, what is wrong with you? I never thought I'd say this sentence, but this is uncomfortably abusive.
Real nigga fuck these haters, these hoes got pussies like craters.
Such a way with words, no wonder the ladies love him.
Can't treat these hoes like ladies, man.
Clearly you can't.
Pussy money, we codeine.
A quick summary of every single rap cliche to complete his contract.
She say my dick feel like morphine, I hope my name tastes like sardines to these niggas.
Dick like morphine? Name like What?
She wake up, eat this dick, call that breakfast in bed, 69.96.
Ew. And what's 96? Is that just two people facing away from each other?
And these haters try to knock me, but they can't knock me off the hinges.
Cushion alcohol.
You know what? I take it back. Lil Wayne, you are way more insecure than Taylor Swift. Because outside of the chorus, he mentions his haters in every single verse, including the entirety of the third verse.
I lost a few good bitches, met some more bad bitches, and I be schooling them niggas. Pose for your class picture, and I kiss my ass if you hate. I'm getting ass, so I'm skating. Yeah.
This will forever stand as a towering example of the worst and most disturbing realms of pop rap. What an abomination. Lil Wayne, I'd say I'm angry, but honestly, I just think you need to seek help. So please do, for all of our sakes, including you. Oh, and take Drake and Future with you. I am so sick of those two.
Yeah, long as my bitches love me. My bitches love me. My bitches love me. I could give a fuck by no hate as long as my bitches love me. My bitches love me.
So, that was 2013. I may need some time to recover, just leave a like if you enjoyed. Feel free to share your thoughts on this year down in those comments. I know that plenty of you hate it. 2017's year end is almost upon us, so we'll be tackling that next month. In the meantime, please subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and until the next time, I'm Finn, and this is the Social Tunes signing off.
My bitch love me. Yeah, I can give a fuck by no nigga long as these bitches love me.